Ovation.
Back again. This time I'm about to go over two of the cars we're about to start building. I've got 5 here, so I'm just going to cover 2 right now. First is this Mustang Cobra. It is another overhaul of part of the supercharger system. It's got a Vortec supercharger on it with kind of a hack job intercooler setup on it. It's got about 50 couplers and an intercooler that's been siliconed, which is also a tube and fin intercooler, which if you go back through my other videos, I'm always go from tube and fin front mounts to bar and plate. So I'll be doing a new intercooler on it along with the charge piping, probably a blow off valve, we'll see, and get it situated and up to par. We're also got the S2000 Build that was brought in from Mississippi. It came in bone stock other than coilovers, so it is going to be a cooling setup, dials the suspension in a little bit, new top, which I've already done the new top, clutch, transmission, mounts, turbo kit, fuel setup, and all the electronics to go with it. So it's a full build from stock to 500 horsepower street car. So I'm gonna go ahead and start tearing down and removing the stock intake box and all that, so I can get the radiator out and bleed the fluid and get ready to do the radiator install on it. So I'm going with the new Mishimoto radiator, shroud, fans, and hose setup on it. Pretty basic stuff. Get the radiator in first, that way I know I can go ahead and crank it up, bleed it, check that box off, and move on to the turbo setup. So I think I'll move to the S2000 first and get it torn apart. You can see this is stock as stock can be, which is a really good starting point. That way nothing's been touched, so everything should be good to go. I'll go ahead and, like I said, get the intake pipe, the air box off so you can access the fans and the radiator, bleed the fluid, and get those pieces that's coming off pulled out and the new ones dropped in and fit into place. Alright, got the radiator out. What you can see, this is a OEM single core. We're gonna go with the dual core, polished Mishimoto polished tanks, all aluminum radiator. So it'll be an upgrade from this to help with the cooling of the turbo system. So I'll get this set down and get to removing the hoses. I forgot how much of a pain they were to do on this particular car because of where they're mounted below the intake manifold. But anyway, I'll get to it. These are off. Pain in the you know what, but pry bars and angles help it a lot. You can see I jack up the front of the car. Pry bar gets the radiator, get the lower one to pop off, and I just pull the top one off. I'm going to put some dry down on this coolant that spilled out just a little bit, and just go ahead and move over to the Mustang now. Let this dry because I don't like making a mess on the floor. But anyway, I'll get it moved over and look at this Mustang. Actually, let me backtrack. I'm going to wait a day before I start on the Cobra because we just got a big pallet of intercoolers in. I finally got our GTC 600s back in stock, and I've also got some precision intercoolers in stock. So I need to get these put up on the shelf, add it to the website, add it to our eBay store. So if you're in need for an intercooler for 400 to 650 horsepower, I'm about to put them online on sale right now. So be sure to check those out. I'll put a link in the description. But anyway, thanks for checking it out. I'll get back to the S2000. I've got some oil dry down to get up the little coolant on the floor. I don't like to walk through like mess and drag it around the floor, so it's kind of important for me to get that up and dry it now. So next time I'll come in, I'll get the radiator hoses back on the car, get the radiator in the car, set it back down, and I'll show you close up of all the new parts. I got all the intercoolers put up a little quicker than I thought it would take, so I decided to go ahead and break out the Mishimoto hoses. I'll go ahead and put the two motor sides on today. That way, that's the hardest part of the whole install. That way when I come back through during the week, I may just pick at it, do a piece here and there, and not have to worry about actually doing something difficult. So got the lower hose out, clamp on facing down because you gotta get under the car to squeeze the clamp. I'll go ahead and stick this on, get the top one mounted, and go from there. I'm going ahead and getting the shroud ready. Again, went with the Mishimoto stuff, putting the shroud and the fan set up together. It came with this tape, which is like a sealing tape to fit the shroud, to close the gap between the shroud and the radiator. So I'm just applying all of that all the way around, and I'll go ahead and get the two put together. A perk about this setup is these two fans came with the Honda compatible plugs, so I don't have to actually wire anything. These should just plug right up to the factory harness. So I'll go ahead and finish getting this tape on, get the two pieces put together, and get ready to drop it in the car. It also came with the plug. I'm gonna pull it out and put the OE thermo switch into this new radiator. Then I'll put the two together. Well, it's always something small. I noticed the drain plug didn't want to turn left or right, so of course I go grab a wrench just to take it out and check the threads on it. Head of the bolt snapped right off. So now I'll go in there, I'll fix this, drill it out, weld it back up with the fitting that can actually unscrew and not break off. Before I even get to welding, I'm just going to drill this out and see if I can tap it to 1/4 inch first. So hopefully I can. That'll save some time. And this will be ready to go back in the car. As soon as I tighten these down, I will set it in there.